Good evening, guys. Apparently my camera switched itself off. There we go. Sorry if I haven't been here too much this week. I am not feeling very well. Don't worry, it's not COVID, but definitely under the weather. You'll probably be I'll be coughing. I probably sound like shit. I finally sold my house though, so I'm moving and I've been packing and all sorts. So let me put the chat on the screen. So it's been a strange day. So yeah, I moved about 100 boxes of stuff. Yeah, I've just been feeling ill all day, so probably overdid it a little bit today. I've had these Inceptors for a long time, these plasma ones. Good evening, Terminators. Good evening, Victoria. Spiderwing, Brent, Benjamin. Good evening, guys. How you guys doing? I've had these guys forever. I converted them forever ago as well. So I have my tournament list ready for like next week. So I thought I'd just chill tonight and I could paint anything I want. So these guys, I think these guys just deserve a little bit of paint. They've been sat around for way too long. So we're just going to start with the wings and then probably move on to these incursors, because I actually don't have any finished incursors. All my finished full boss units are infiltrators. And while I like infiltrators, like I like them a lot, I feel like I need some incursors just to balance things out a little bit. Excuse me. What is up, Robert? What is up, Marcus? How did you score the extra Sanguinary Guard wings? I bought an extra box of Sanguinary Guard for all the pieces, I think, when I was building like some of my Indomitus stuff. I bought some extra Sanguinary Guard wings, and I think I used some of the Sanguinary Guard bodies to make some company veterans. I just actually finished some company veterans today. So finished these this morning. They just need a coat of varnish now. But yeah, these, do you know what, I don't think this one is a Sanguinary Guard body, but some of them definitely use Sanguinary Guard bodies on some of these veterans. So that's why I've got extra wings for doing these. But so I saw someone do this on like it was ages ago now, like right when Inceptors came out. I believe they did it with the Bolter Inceptor, so before the Plasmas even got released. I saw someone on Reddit, or Bolter and Chainsword, I think, do Inceptors with upside down Sanguinary Guard wings on them, and I thought it looked kind of dope. Obviously it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because like this bit of the wing is usually the bit that attaches, and maybe I could have attached them better, but I just went for it. I thought it would be fun. Hey, left-handed Texan, how you doing? Hope you're well. Yeah, so if I sound like shit tonight, I feel like I sound like shit. You guys are just gonna have to bear with me, because yeah, I actually didn't feel well yesterday, and I emptied my cellar. So yeah, I'm moving, which I'm very happy about, because you guys know, you guys all like to make fun of me for wearing gloves. Like, it's almost glove weather in my house already, like, because this house is so old. So and I feel the cold really badly, just me personally. So I'm happy to be moving, and hopefully I'll have a better room for doing Warhammer stuff in. That's the dream anyway. So at the end of next month I'm moving home, so if like the last week of the month there might not be as much content as normal, but after that things should be golden. So how are you doing? So much gold. Good evening, Highland. Yeah, you know that I like to do elites sometimes in gold. Why not, right? I did my other Inceptors. I did them in red, right? So I've got one squad of Inceptors in red, and I don't know. I felt like at the time the plasma ones, like everyone was going all the rage for the plasma runs, right? Before they got their points costs put up. So I thought like, oh, I'm definitely gonna have plasma Inceptors. They would look cool with gold and also Sanguinary Guard wings, right? Or am I doing an entire gold list? No, I've just painted things that made sense to me in gold, right? Like, here's a question that maybe one of you lore guys can help me with, right? Heating is going on the first time in months, yeah. So yeah, it's not like the last few nights. It has been sort of popping down to like 18 degrees or something. So like we're right on the brisk of putting the heating on here in Scotland. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world to put the heating on, but you know, it's sort of like, it's almost like, I don't know why you don't want to do it for one day to maybe like save the tiniest bit of electricity money or something. I don't know. Yeah, a lot of people seem to do that. I was speaking to somebody yesterday. They were like, "Oh, I almost turned the heating on." I was like, "Okay." But yeah, we're the same. We almost turned the heating on today. But no, so I only did the things that I thought made sense in gold, and that was Vanguard veterans who have leadership 9. They are veterans, right? So like, I don't know, I just put them in gold because they're like leadership 9 and they're veterans. I put Sanguinary Guard obviously because they are in gold. But then I put Blade Guard veterans in gold because it said in the book, it must have been like the 8th, or maybe it was the 9th edition codex. It said Blade Guard veterans are going to be joining the first company, which really confused me, right? 18 degrees you would die. 18 is quite standard here for like the minimum threshold for heating. I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, no, Blade Guard veterans, because it said they're joining First Company, which confused me, right? Because I thought First Company was all Terminators. So I did the Blade Guard. I don't do my Terminators in gold, but for whatever reason I decided to do the Blade Guard veterans in gold. So far all I've done in gold are Blade Guard veterans, Vanguard veterans, and Sanguinary Guard. They are all elites. They are all leadership 9, I guess. What leadership do Inceptors have? I imagine it's 8, right? You've never seen this take on wings before? I saw someone do this on wings. That's what inspired me to do it. I actually think they attach them slightly differently, and in hindsight, I probably wouldn't have just stuck them right onto the middle of the shoulder like this. Like maybe I could have filed down a bit behind the backpack and done it there, but I don't know. That's what I've done. So hopefully they'll look cool. What red do you use for angels? I'm using Vallejo red and struggling to get the color. It seems too dark. I use Evil Sun Scarlet, but a lot of people use Mephiston red. Reflections about Smash Captain with Black Rage and Jump Pack vs Chapter Master on the bike, please. I mean, Smash Captains are very, very different unit to a bike captain, because like in my army the bike captain spends probably like 2 turns just giving out rerolls, whereas like a Black Rage captain, you just want to go straight forward and contest objectives and potentially do turn 1 charges, right? I think if you are going to make a captain with that is in the Death Company, I kind of think that the way to do it now is the Teeth of Terra, and just give him like a boatload of attacks, because and just have him go in and shred infantry, because they kind of nerfed your ability to kill monsters anyway, right? Like you can't just jump in and kill monsters and vehicles like we used to with Smash Captains. So if you're gonna make one, I think like Chainsword, Teeth of Terra, probably like a Storm Shield, and then and then try and position him to get like the Bridge of the Vengeful Spirit Death Vision off, so he gets like one extra attack for every 5 models. I think it's within 6 inches. I mean, I used that against Andrew's Necrons, and I think like in 1 turn he got like 17 attacks or something. I think that's how you should use a bike captain. I mean, somebody in chat will probably disagree with me, or how you should use a Smash Captain now, but I don't think Smash Captains smash vehicles and armor the way they used to, whereas I think they can still smash through infantry like really effectively. And especially Teeth of Terra is like a marine killing weapon, right, with its flat 2 damage. It kind of sucks against Death Guard, but I mean a lot of things are weak and sucky against Death Guard. I'm gonna paint my Necron army in gold. Fair enough. It's your army, man. You choose how you want to paint it. I mean, that's what I do. No one can really tell you how to paint it. I mean, I like my Blade Guard in gold. I don't know if you guys seen them, but I think they look great. I'm really pleased with them. I did a squad of 5, and I've actually got 2 more that are like half done. But yeah, I really like the Blade Guard in gold. The contrast with the white shields is really nice. So hopefully, the contrast with the wings on these guys will be the same sort of deal. I thought all veterans were first company. Yeah, so I'm not entirely sure who's in first company anymore. My brush is so white. Yeah, this is one of these new synthetic Games Workshop brushes I'm using. They're pretty cheap actually. Like, I don't mind them for how cheap they are. Like, they're like $3 or something. I'm not doing any sort of detailing with it, right? Earthman Brick, I'm just throwing down base coats, but like for base coats, they're pretty cheap. They're nice. How many attacks do you get with the Teeth of Terra? Well, a normal chainsword gives you +1 attack, right? The Teeth of Terra gives you +3 attacks. And so if you're captain, you're 4 attacks. Teeth of Terra puts you up to 7 attacks. Being in the Death Company puts you up to 8 attacks. Charging with Shock Assault puts you up to 9 attacks. Savage Echoes puts you up to 10 attacks. If you take Imperium Sword, so you can like reroll your charge, which is pretty good if you're gonna use like Forlorn Fury and stuff to like get forward across the board and make that early turn 1 charge. Having a reroll on the charge can be pretty good, and it also puts you up to 11 attacks. It also puts you at strength 6. You know, so like with our +1 to wound, I guess you wound all. So 11 attacks base, 2+, 4 double plus, 6 triple plus, I guess, from being in the Death Company. If he's on a bike, it's like toughness 5, 6 wounds. And yeah, you can either use your Death Vision for a 3+ invulnerable save for the next combat, or you can use your Death Vision to give you +1 attack for every 5 enemy models within 6 inches. And I guess like against horde-based armies, you know, if you're near a squad of 20 guys, that's just 4 more attacks on top of your base of 11. So you can do a lot of work with the Teeth of Terra against certain armies, and against other armies, it's still pretty good at just killing 2 wound infantry really effectively. I ran that for a while. That was actually part of my list where I went 11 wins in a row. I kind of wanted to bring it back, but like, yeah, it just didn't fit right now. I think it's quite a big investment in CP, right? Because you're gonna have to pay 1 CP for the Forlorn Fury, 1 CP for the Teeth of Terra, 1 CP for Imperium Sword. So you probably need to run a battalion if you want to do that effectively, because you're gonna be blowing like 3 CP before you even get started. Sure, your Death Visions are free and stuff, but like you might also want to spend 1 CP on like Refusal to Die to improve his Feel No Pain. So if you're gonna do that, yeah, it's gonna be a hefty CP investment, isn't it? Well, it's 3 more attacks than the hammer, Benjamin. Island Phoenix put servitors together today. Finecast. Yeah, I'm actually surprised that, like, I have some servitors that are metal. At that point, I actually don't know what's better, metal or Finecast. They're both pretty horrific to work with, right? I use synthetic brushes too, says Earthman Brick. Yeah, they can be better. I prefer the proper expensive brushes, but like, you have to take a lot of care of them, and That's why I base coat with cheap brushes, right? Like I do like half the model with cheap brushes and then keep the expensive brushes for the more detail work, so that like basically I keep my costs down to a minimum. I have a bunch of like really knackered brushes as well. I use for like stuff like transfers or dry brushing, and try and just be smart with it. How often do you like to magnetize units? On vehicles and stuff, I pretty much magnetize all the time, because the amount of times I've been burned, like buy a vehicle or something, or buy a dreadnought, put the arms on it, only to find out next edition the dreadnought arms that you've chosen are shit. That's happened way too many times. So like any new dreadnought I buy, if there's weapon options, probably. Same for any sort of vehicles. If it's possible or easy to do, I would always advise magnetizing. And for infantry, you know, like right now, lightning claws are really, really strong, but who's to say they're going to stay strong? So, like I bought 10 Vanguard veterans, and I pretty much did all of them with the ability to have a lightning claw or a chain sword. And I guess the advantage of magnetizing something like Vanguard vets is like if something else becomes popular in the future, you could always just switch. So. Like if I was doing a Devastator squad, I'd probably not magnetize it, but like if I'm doing a close combat Blood Angel squad, and you know that something's really strong right now and it might not stay really strong, aka lightning claws, then I'd probably suggest magnetizing it. Unless you're made of money and you're happy to just shell out like another $100 when you want to change their weapon option. Is it true that Blood Angels are glorified vampires? I don't think we're glorified vampires. Mephiston, in a previous edition, used to drink the blood of fallen enemy models. But I don't think there's really much in the way of that anymore. We can occasionally... In the Dante book, Dante drinks the blood of like one of his chapter serfs, I believe, which is basically like a servant, when he's like struggling to survive, and it like reinvigorates him. So there is, we can drink blood and we can get some strength from it, but like I don't believe it's like a craving that we if we don't get it, bad things happen, right? Someone else jump in on this vampires question. I don't think I'm qualified to answer it. I use brushes from Army Painter. They're really good for the price. I have an Army Painter brush right here, buddy. The bit's fallen off it, but this is synthetic. Sorry, this is not synthetic at all. I'm lying. This is a regular, like, fine detail Army Painter brush. So I like them as well. If you're in the UK, the Element Games brushes, they're the ones I would recommend. I love them. Element Games character brushes. You get so much painting out of these. They're so good value for money. They are my favorite brushes. I use them ever since I found them. I use them all the time. Some of the successor chapters drink blood. So what happened then? Why did Dante drink the blood of that seraph? Someone remind me, because I've read the book. I think this seraph was really old and dying anyway, right? And he basically let Dante drink his blood because Dante needed a bit of a kick in the rear to something like that. Yeah, I can't. I'm sure that was was that Devastation of Baal, or was that I think that was Darkness in the Blood. I keep meaning to go back and reread the trilogy of Dante books. Like, I just haven't had much time. But yeah, it's on my to-do list to read them again. Dante was knackered after fighting the Nids on Cryptus and needed a pick-me-up. Yeah, so I guess we can drink blood if we need a pick-me-up. But I don't know where else I don't know where that's really detailed in the lore. Most of my lore comes from the codexes, and I don't think they mention that all that much. blood makes them more focused, they run faster and they heal better. Yeah, I think that's, yeah, so that's why Dante drunk the blood, right? Because he wasn't healing or something in that book, and he was like, they didn't say in as many words that he was dying, but it was kind of implied that, like, if he wasn't like, if someone's not healing, then I guess they're dying, right? So the question is, what's everybody working on tonight, and has this wings idea on Inceptors, does anyone now want to do this, or does everyone think it looks stupid? You know, people always talk about modeling for advantage, you know, like if you don't put your wings on your Sangre Guard in some tournaments, people would say like you're modeling for advantage because by not putting the wings on them, they're technically smaller, so you can conceal them easily or more easily behind terrains. I technically here am modeling for disadvantage by putting giant wings on these Inceptors. Andrew always makes fun of me because he's always like, every model you make, John, you always model for disadvantage, and I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm competitive, but I also like my stuff to look cool. So it's difficult for me. I gotta have this stuff, it's gotta look cool, right? So like, if it means that it's gotta be slightly disadvantaged, then we just have to play extra good in the game and get the win that way, I guess. I love the wing idea on the Inceptors. I probably wouldn't flare them out so much, but it still looks good. Thanks, man. Yeah, I wasn't, like, in hindsight, after I glued them on, I thought, like, maybe I could have glued them on in a better way, but, like, you know, there was no instructions or anything. It was just, it was sort of on a whim moment, like, I wonder how I can put Sangre Guard wings on Inceptors and make them look cool. I think Modeling for Advantage is a pretty good YouTube channel. You mean that is a YouTube channel, or you think it's a cool name for a YouTube channel? If there is one called Modeling for Advantage, I don't know it. Victoria says, trying to finish my very first list. Well, good for you. It's always a big step making your first list. Once you've made it, if you want to have it reviewed on stream sometime, you know, we do list reviews every Sunday. We talk over lists, we make suggestions. A lot of people hang out on the list shows on Sundays, and we usually get some really good suggestions, right? I feel like we usually help people improve their lists. Oh, that's what I want to say. We usually manage to help people improve their lists. So if that's something you're interested in, Victoria, then every Sunday at 4 p.m. UK time, that's something that we do. Drinking blood slows down their aging. One reason Dante has aged so much physically because he was fasting from drinking blood. I see. Appreciate the heads up. Making a Primaris Chaplain on a bike. I just finished a Primaris Chaplain on a bike today, actually. Benjamin says he likes the wings. He's going to do it too. Sick. Attack bike next, then building my Dawnbreaker converted Vanguard veterans. You're crazy. So Dawnbreaker Vanguard veterans and Highland Phoenix. What are you arming them with? Because Dawnbreakers come with like those giant spears, right? I think anyway. I think they come with spears. They come with like spears and like infernal pistols, right? So you're gonna have to convert both arms, or what's the plan? I've based my list off that segment. Alright, cool. I like the way that the wings look, they rock out. Thanks, Dracula. Evolution says that we'll be hosing them with plasma. That's the plan. I mean, I actually don't run plasma Inceptors all that much ever. I've not run them once since they put them up in cost. You know that? But it doesn't mean that I don't think they're a cool model and that I don't want mine painted, you know. But yeah, I haven't run them at all since they put them since they put them from, what was it, like 50 points per model? They're all the way up at like 65 now. I haven't run them for ages. Oh, it's an actual YouTube channel? Alright, I gotta check it out. I didn't actually know that was a YouTube channel. Okay. Modeling for Advantage. And what do they put on that channel, Spiderwing? I take it it's conversions and stuff, is it? If it's not, they named it wrong. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, we were at a kid's birthday party like last weekend, and like, yeah, with kids running around, they all get the flu and stuff, and then it's just a nightmare. So we've had to be like, we actually, yeah, we had a baby shower today. We actually cancelled going to because, like, we just need, you know, now that we've got the cold, like, my wife just got her second vaccine and she's also pregnant, so she's like super high risk for COVID. So, going to a baby shower today because, yeah, I think me and my wife have both got this cough, but like our current daughter doesn't have it, so honestly I don't understand how. So I'm pretty sure that she gave it to us, but she doesn't have it, so lucky her, I guess. Robert says, finish one Redemptor, working on the other. Painting 3 bike captains today. Blood Angels with shield and hammer, Terrorist Captain with chainsword and shield, and a Death Company with shield and claw. Wow. That must have been expensive. Where did you get your bikes from then? Like, did you like buy a pack of 3 bikes and then go ahead and convert them all, or what? John caught the Nurgle Plague. Yeah, I did catch the Nurgle Plague apparently. Dawnbreaker bodies, but Vanguard veteran lightning claws and assault Terminator shields. Okay, that's pretty cool. The assault Terminator shields are pretty giant, aren't they? So I bet they look really cool. I have some Crimson Paladin shields, and I used one of them in one of my bike captains, and I thought they were really, really cool. I have a lot of Terminators that are actually waiting to get painted. Maybe I should be painting Terminators right now. But yeah, these guys needed to get a little bit of color on them because they've been sat in the drawer for like probably over a year at this point. Kids are mini poxwalkers. The amounts of colds and flus I've had from my nephew is crazy. The 4 segments, the new Cold supplement goes over blood drinking, the process of insanguination, and the other darker bits around it. Do you know what? I'm really guilty with the new codex for just going straight to the competitive stuff. So I have my first tournament in like 18 months, I guess, because of COVID. Yeah, I have my first tournament since I think November 19, so it's probably actually going to be just like a week or a month shy of 2 years, and that's next weekend. So yeah, there'll be no stream next Saturday night because I will be at a tournament, or maybe there'll just be a stream of me talking about, because I want to have paints and everything with me in my hotel room. So I guess if there's good Wi-Fi in the hotel, I may do a stream just me talking about my games. That could be cool because they'll be like fresh in my memory. So that 50-50. I've never been to this hotel before. I have no idea if they have good internet. It was only $100 a night, so it might or it might not, I guess. Have you ever considered me getting a 3D printer? Do you know what? Andrew has a 3D printer, right? And he has printed some stuff for me here and there. But I don't know if like, I have a lot of boxes. Like, once I get my new house, which is in a few weeks' time, like, I have a shelf off camera up here, right, that has like, I don't know. I want to say like there's 2 half-used boxes of Death Company. There's 2 half-used boxes of Vanguard. There's 2 boxes of Vanguard. Like, occasionally I just buy, like, I bought a Death Company box when I had no Death Company to build, right? Like, I just bought the box because I wanted the shoulder pads and I wanted more helmets. And I find, you know, like when you buy Indomitus, for example, you don't get any Blood Angels specific stuff, and I just wanted Blood Angel specific shoulder pads and stuff. So from time to time I would buy, like, that's how I got these wings, right? Like, I'd just buy a Vanguard kit but not necessarily need to make any Vanguard. So I maybe do that like every 6 months, so I haven't done it in a while actually. But I probably have done it in the last 6 months. Yeah, because I bought a Box of Death company not that long ago. Just because, like, if I was gonna, I had like 3 sets of Primaris Assault Marines, and like none of them have Blood Angel specific shoulder pads, and I just hate that. Like, I actually hate that. So, no, I don't know if I would buy a 3D printer. It seems like there's a lot of hassle to it. I know that there's some sites that like you can print stuff online, but no, I guess I'm just like, I supported Warhammer Plus. I guess there's a big debate around there where like some people aren't supporting it. Like, I guess I'm just supporting Games Workshop, right? Like, I'm not a huge fan of how like expensive some of the models have become, or I'm definitely not a fan of them shutting down some other YouTube channels. I mean, if you've noticed, I've renamed the channel. It's no longer called Blood Angels Commander, we're just called BA Commander. I've changed my logo, so like I had to go and pay for another new logo that basically hopefully isn't enough, it doesn't look enough like a Space Marine, although it's supposed to be a Space Marine anymore. So I can get like told to, or I can get shut down or anything like that. So like, I don't like what's been happening, but I'm still supporting Games Workshop, I guess. So that's my stance on it, I guess. I know that there's going to be a big debate about it, and someone was really upset because there was a post on the Facebook group, and I told my mods, like, this will be the last post on if we're boycotting Games Workshop or if we're not boycotting Games Workshop, right? Like, I don't want to be involved in any sort of boycott. So if you know, I won't tell you to subscribe. I'll give you my opinion, and you can choose to ignore it. And like, I guess likewise, you can give me your opinion, and I will either choose to listen to it or choose to ignore it, right? It's a free world, you decide. But yeah, so I'm sure plenty of other people are keen to talk about 3D printing and stuff. But yeah, for me, it's cool. I think another thing that's a problem for me is, right, like, I'd gone ahead and bought like a load of third-party Vanguard veteran shields. So like, if I wanted to go to a Games Workshop tournament now, I need to replace all those shields with actual official GW shields. Likewise, I bought some custom Blood Angels heads, and the same thing goes. Like, I'll need to replace some of them with official GW heads. I hate that as well. But yeah, I guess I'm just not. I'm still going to support them, and I guess in the future, it sucks to say this, to say like, well, there isn't enough custom Blood Angels heads, but from now on, you're now not allowed to buy any on eBay if you want to play competitively. So I don't know what to say. I'm too small a creator to have any impact. So that, I guess that's me, right? The Blood Angels lore is what got me. I almost became a Tau player because I've left Mecha and was a Battletech player, and I just eat up the Blood Angels lore. I can understand why people love the Tau and the Mecha. It is pretty cool. I've seen some Tau models that have been painted white, and they look so sick. One of my friends, Rennie, actually has a Tau army. You'll maybe see it on the channel this year, now that COVID's coming down. But yeah, he's got this Tau army, and it's all painted white, and it looks so sick. But I mean, white is like a whole army of white. That just sounds like horrific, doesn't it? I bought some heavy Inceptors and got a second box for free. Congrats. I mean, if you don't want the second box, we'll happily take them off your hand. No, I'm joking. I've got 5 heavy Interceptors. They're another thing on my backlog of painting is so big right now. I really want to get an Astraeus as well. I like Astraeus. The smell reeks on the resin printers, says Robert. Yeah, them dictating what bits you can put in the models is insane. What's next? Having to adhere to approved colour schemes and canon-only units. Yeah, I think that's the thing that's most insane, not so average Joe, because, like, here's the thing, like, so the chaplain on a bike, right? If you've watched the channel for a while, you'll know that I don't rate Outriders. I think they're a terrible unit. I think they're overcosted. I think they need weapon options. Like, I just think they're lackluster at best with chainswords. So I got 2.5 boxes of Indomitus. Because I bought 1 box. I traded the Necron half for another half of Marine stuff. And then Andrew actually bought the Indomitus box but didn't want all the Marines. Because he's Iron Hands, I guess. So because he's Iron Hands, he didn't give a shit about Outriders. So he gave me the Outriders, and I think he gave me the Blade Guard veterans as well. That's why I've got 7 of them, I think. So like, I made one of the Outriders into a Primaris Chaplain, right? And like, I used a bunch of different bits. I used the Primaris Chaplain. Sorry, I made one of the Outriders into a Primaris Chaplain on a bike, and I used loads of different bits. But at the very end of it, I bought a custom helmet from eBay, from like a 3D printer company, and put the helmet on him. And now, because I put a custom helmet on him, which is like this pretty cool skull face, right? And here's the fucked up thing: the only reason that I bought that helmet is because I had another official chaplain, you know, the one that the Blood Angels chaplain with the cool skull face that's got those rounded wings. I lost that head piece. I have that head, and I put it somewhere really safe because I was like, wow, that's a cool head, I'll use that in the future. And I put it somewhere safe, and I honestly have like 50 boxes of bits, and I rake through all my boxes multiple times and I cannot find it. So either I've dropped it and it's like gone into the abyss that is like under a sofa or something, or I just lost. But like, I 100% remember thinking that is a really cool head, I need to keep that when I'm making like a chaplain in the future, and I lost it. So I bought a head online, and now because I bought a head online, like, that model is not valid for tournaments anymore. That's just so lame. Do you use a wet palette? No, I don't currently, but I've bought one on Kickstarter. It's called the Red Grass wet palette, and like, people have been telling me for ages to get a wet palette. So Red Grass version 2 or something on Kickstarter. I honestly kickstarted it like 6 months ago at this point. So I imagine that we're gonna get it soonish. I did check on it maybe like a month ago to see like, hey, where's my wet palette? But no update yet. But hopefully soon, I guess, we'll be moving to wet palette. How many sponsored GW tournaments have I been to? I don't live anywhere near Warhammer World. Like, it's literally the other end of the country for me. But I was hoping to go to some of them, but like probably like next year. But like, I mean, I might still, but like, it's just gonna be a pain to have to redo a bunch of stuff that's in my, like, I already bought the models, you know, like, it's official lightning claws, it's official bases, it's official arms. The only thing that's different is either like a head or a shield. Like, I already gave GW my money, right? What do we have to counter Knight Magaras? I don't know the stats of the Knight Magara off the top of my head. He's running 3 of them in a 2k point game. Let's have a quick look. And you said this is a Custodes player that's running this. Spec Tiger. Let's pull up so everyone can see the profile. Hold on. Alright, so 480 point Knight. Maybe I have to turn my camera off for a second. Movement 12, weapon and ballistic of 3, strength and toughness of 8, 24 wounds, a 3-up save. I assume it'll have a 5-up invulnerable save as well, yep. Oh, okay, when it's destroyed, roll 1d6, it explodes d6 mortal wounds within 2d6. Target does not benefit from cover, is able to declare a charge in a turn which it fell back. It can move across other models, yep. And then it's equipped with a lightning cannon, which is heavy, 7, -2, 3, unmodified roll of 6 does 2 additional hits. Lovely. Yeah, that's horrific. Phase plasma fusel. Rapid fire, alright, that thing's pretty good as well. 4 shots, -3, 2 damage. The chainsword, which I'm assuming is nasty as all hell. Strength 14, -3 flat, 6 damage. And the feet as well, make 3 hits rolls instead of 1 with the feet. So 4 attacks at strength 14, -3 d6, or 12 attacks, strength 8, -2 d3 damage. Both of those is horrific. And you can replace the chainsword with a siege claw or a twin rad cleanser. Twin rad cleanser, not so bad. And the siege claw, slightly different melee options. Okay. How do you beat 3 of them in a list? This is sort of the list that you tell your opponent, like... In the words of Tony, he'd just tell the opponent, like, hey, don't be a dick and bring 3 of these things. Yeah, pretty much whatever they're going to shoot at, they're going to delete, right? Heavy 8, strength 7, 3 damage, plus probably rapid fire 4. So you're basically talking like you're going to get 12 strength 7, 2 or 3 damage shots each turn. Sometimes when you've got something horrific like this, Null Zone is going to be your friend, right? Like, get rid of their invulnerable save and hit them with Sanguinary Guard and like a bunch of sword attacks. But it's going to be difficult, like, unless you... Some of it might depend on the terrain you're using, Spec Tiger. Like, you need to almost be using that new terrain layout that GW have recommended, where there is like tons of obscuring terrain, so that you can jump out of an obscuring position and make charges on them, and they can't overwatch you, because even their overwatch is going to potentially kill a couple of models as well, right? Just because they get so many shots. Yeah, and I mean, both those guns are absolutely infantry killers. So one thing you could also do is you could have like a cheap character. So like, let's say your Sanguinary Guard are all going to jump in on one of these knights to take it out. Obviously with their flat 6 damage and their -3, or their bunch of attacks, they're going to basically kill a lot of your Sanguinary Guard. You could Angel Sacrifice a cheap character to force all their attacks onto the cheap character if they're going to, you know, if they're going to get you in melee. That's one thing you can do that can definitely be an effective and good stratagem. I've used it against like Ghazghkull Thoraka before to force all his attacks into like... Hey Dictator, how you doing? Just joined your stream and so many questions about your golden scepters with Sanguinary Guard wings. Please tell me more about what's going on here. Hey Smeebo. I mean, what's to tell? I mean, I like putting... What happened, what really happened was I just finished painting, like I bought Indomitus and I'd painted 10 Assault Intercessors, so they're obviously red. And then I just finished before that like 10 Infiltrators, and they're obviously red as well. And then I think maybe I just finished Attack Bikes before that, so they were obviously red as well. And I just sort of said to myself, like, I have painted so many red models, if I keep painting red right now, I'm going to get a little bit burnt out. So I decided to go, I paint my Vanguard Veterans gold. I basically flipped them, right? So Vanguard Veterans normally red with gold helmets. I made their bodies gold and their helmets red. So basically flipped them like just flipped them, I guess. And then after I'd done my Vanguard Veterans, I really liked how they looked. So I decided to do my Blade Guard Veterans the same, where they're like primarily gold with like red accents, kind of like what I'm doing here, right? Like red trims on the gold armor. And I actually just finished another squad of red Inceptors. I actually just varnished them today. So I can show you a red Inceptor. But like the red Inceptors I did were with bolt guns, and these guys obviously have the plasmas. And because I'd seen someone on Reddit do this to Inceptors with the wings, I can't exactly remember who it was or where they posted it, but I just liked it, and I was like, man, when I do my Inceptors, I'm going to give them, I'm going to spray them gold and give them Sanguinary Guard wings. So that's the story, right? Like, I mean, you know, I always say in the channel, it's your army. No one says you have to follow Games Workshop's scheme 100%. And I really like my gold blade guard. I'll get one. I'll show you my gold blade guard. Hold on. I'm sorry, I'm a bit under the weather tonight, but yeah, so this is a gold blade guard. Like I said, just sort of flipped, where you would normally maybe expect them to be red. I just did gold, and just flipped them. I kind of like the contrast with the white shield as well. And then a golden Vanguard veteran with lightning claw. Again, like I said, I just painted a lot of red before I came to these guys. I just wanted a bit of a change, really. So basically what it means is my elites, I guess, my Sanguinary Guard, my Blade Guard, my Vanguard veterans, they're just rocking red. Sorry, they're just rocking gold. So, why not, right? Yeah, I mean, Angel Sacrifice with Armor Indomitus would be nice, Jar Miniatures, but I guess, like, if he is using that chainsword that is flat 6 damage, Armor Indomitus still means, like, a single failed, like, we don't have that many characters that have more than 6 wounds, right? So, like, a single failed save is going to result in, like, a dead character. Thanks, Texan, appreciate that. Gold Blade Guard, that's amazing, just by playing my Blade Guard up as well. Well, see, here's the thing, like, so sometimes if you were going to run 2 squads of Blade Guard on the battlefield, people would want to know what squad's what, right? So why not have 1 squad red and 1 squad gold? I mean, that's exactly what I'm doing with my Inceptors here. Like I said, the bolter ones are in red, sort of standard Blood Angels colors that you would expect. The plasma ones are going to be in gold. Simple as. Just have a little bit of variation in the army, I guess. I like the models for Inceptors though, they're really cool, aren't they? They are a very, very cool model. I mean, that Custode's army will have 10 models, including that Knights. Jar Miniatures makes a very good point. You don't even need to kill those Knights. Just pick secondaries that you can do, and try and only engage the Knights when you want to, right? You also have to ensure that you're playing with enough terrain, because that amount of firepower, like if there is not enough terrain on that board, you could be losing the game just because you're not playing with enough terrain. Like, if you're not sure, like I said on the Warhammer community site just recently, they did like 3 maps and showed how much terrain they expect to be on the board. So you could try and follow that and make sure that there's enough terrain for you to, as a Blood Angels player, to have a chance against that much firepower, I guess. Do these Inceptors get yellow helmets? Do you know what? My other squad did get yellow helmets. These guys are not going to, because I don't know if that'll look... In fact, I think it'll probably just be too many colors that'll clash. So I'm just going to give them red helmets, same as I gave the Blade Guard red. Essentially, for my purposes, these will be my elite... these will be my elite Inceptors, I guess. Just so you know, I think the colours are a good choice and love your thinking behind it. And yes, Inceptors are awesome models. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see other people take some inspiration from some of my ideas, but I mean, you don't have to, obviously. I've definitely seen some people do like successor chapters, right, with like gold blade guard and stuff like that. So, you know, it's definitely a thing. If you follow the Blood Angels Reddit, every day someone's posting up some sort of successor chapter with some cool color scheme that we haven't seen before. So, something you can definitely do. Doesn't make sense that Inceptors have close support helmets. Yeah, I mean, they do look cool though with the yellow helmets. But yeah, maybe it doesn't make a ton of sense that they have close support helmets. But mind you, their guns are sort of... I don't play the plasma ones currently, I just play the bolter ones. The bolter ones are 18 inches. I imagine the plasmas are the same, right? Like, they're not really long range guys. I did my Vanguard Veterans Gold because of you, I love them. Nice, Dracula, thank you. So, hashtag Gold Vanguard Veterans is a thing. Yellow helmets used to be fast attack. Yeah, and most fast attack, like attack bikes, still have yellow helmets, right? Hey Jeff, good evening, how are you doing? I played my first objective game the other day, sent 5 incursors and 5 infiltrators to one objective, and another set of 10 to another, then 50-50 miss scheme would help me keep track of them. Yeah, that's very true. See, I actually painted my infiltrators' helmets black. And I guess infiltrators should have yellow helmets, but I wanted to differentiate them from my incursors, and also infiltrators aren't really the greatest combat unit, right? Like, they're more of a denial unit and a scoring unit for me. So the reason I painted their helmets was black was kind of like, because I thought to myself, like, these are kind of like my like my spec ops troops, right? They're not necessarily here to fight, they're here to get on the board and get the objectives and stuff like that. So I like the idea. I actually saw, and again, I always take inspiration from other people. I play with Colin, who has a giant Ultramarines army, and the way that he did his Ultramarines army was, let me get this right. He painted his Ultramarine infiltrators just black, like black with blue shoulder pads, and said, like, and I was like, how come you've painted these guys black? And he basically said the same thing to me, like, they're not really combat units, they're more like special ops, is the way I think of them. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. And then like a year later, when I came to paint my infiltrators helmets, I was like, yeah, do you know what, I'm going to copy Colin, because I really liked how his like black Ultramarines looked. I'm sorry about the coughing, guys. I am hoping to feel better by tomorrow's show. But yeah, it was a crazy day for me. I basically just spent the whole day putting stuff in boxes, getting ready for moving house. And because my wife's pregnant, she can't lift anything. Because pregnant women are advised to not lift anything, so basically I'm moving my entire house by myself, so that's fun. It's fun when you've got a cold. Camo in the 41st K universe seems almost laughable. Yeah, I mean, it does, I guess. It does. But I mean, it's, you know, I don't know how to say this. it is laughable, but like you can still make the models look cool even though it's laughable, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I hate it when the guns are so close like this to the edge. What a mess I've made there. I'm gonna have to clean all that up. Yeah, no, I don't think I'll lose my voice. It's just I just have a scratchy throat, I guess. I don't know. Overall, I think I just pushed myself too hard today, honestly. Like, I don't know if you can see this. Wait for it. Yeah, I did 6.9 miles, 14,000 steps, which I think is too much if you're not feeling well. I honestly think that one of the best things you can do when you're feeling ill is not like dwell on it, you know, like just get on and get what you're supposed to have done with the day accomplished. But yeah, I think I I think I went the opposite way with that. Like, I think I just went a little bit too much. Yeah, I've got a friend that's going to help me when I get to like things that can't really be lifted by one person, but I'm going to do a lot of it myself, I guess. Part of it is to do with like, I'm pretty precious about my stuff, right? Like, probably overly precious. Like, you want to make sure that your stuff, I don't know, it's like your whole life, right? Not to say I don't like the idea of how it looks fits with the overall martial design of Primaris Marines. Yeah, I think that Primaris Marines still have a ways to go though. Like, when they first released them, I was generally quite happy with them, but like the fact that we're like, I think we're 3 years into it, because didn't Primaris Marines, like, didn't they start in like June 2018 and we still don't have jump packs? So that part of it I don't like. I think that's just like way too slow. And also the lack of weapon options as well. I totally hate that. Like, if they ever try and phase out Firstborn, it's going to be an absolute nightmare because the Primaris units have no customization. In general, it feels like. But yeah, so we finished the tier list video series this week. So I think the next video I'm going to do is something a little bit different. We did the Death Guard video, which I think some people liked and some people thought it was just average. So I think I'm going to try and jump in on some phases next week. And I think we're going to start in the combat phase and do a video about all the things, all the little sneaky tricks and tips you can do in the combat phase. And I've made a bunch of slides for it actually already. So like I can script out what the video is gonna be, but I'm pretty excited. I'm hoping it's gonna be interesting. Because yeah, I feel like the close combat phase is something that, I mean, even I don't always maximize how I use it, right? Camouflage is the color of fear. I have no need to hide from my foes. I have no fear. I think that's supposed to be of death. My colors I wear openly. Primaris not have jump packs. Assault Squad Intercessors units is ridiculous at this point, especially considering suppressors are normal Primaris units with jump packs. Yeah, suppressors are like the unit that time forgot, aren't they? I have 9 of them, I think. I really want, like, maybe we'll paint suppressors. I was going to say next week. Next time I stream painting, maybe we'll paint some suppressors. I thought that they were going to be really fun to use when they first got announced, suppressors. Like, I thought for sure you would see them in Blood Angel's lists with the ability to remove Overwatch, but I guess, like, the Overwatch changes in 9th edition meant that, like, I guess no one overly cares about suppressors, or they just don't bring enough to the table, or, like, I don't necessarily think their damage is bad either. You know, like, 9 autocannon shots for 100 points isn't bad. You could do a video on stratagems and relics and stuff like that. I think I've I not done one on stratagems? And do you know what? Maybe I've not. But yeah, I think the combat phase video will be really helpful. I'm going to make that this week. Like I said, I already made all the slides, so I think it's going to be pretty helpful. And I am 100% sure there's going to be tips in there that you guys don't know about, because like some of the things you can do in the combat phase are pretty edge case. Like, they don't happen very often at all. So I'm going to try and cover all the little clever things we can do, and hopefully that'll be a pretty valuable video. But yeah, stratagems and relics, if I haven't done one on those, you know, we do a new video every week, so it's not like we won't get to it. And I do note down a lot of the suggestions from the video room on Discord. I just haven't been on, honestly, I haven't been on Discord properly for a couple of days, and it's just because I've not been feeling well, right? I've been trying to move my house, and I really haven't been feeling well. So if you message me in Discord in the last couple of days, I am sorry, that's 100% on me. I will get back as soon as I feel better. Does anyone use Centurions? I haven't seen them for ages. So I was using them before Chapter Approved dropped Arc, and I was using them in every single game. I actually was on the list that I had 11 wins in a row with. Actually, Centurions were kind of like the mainstay of that list. Just 3 Assault Centurions with the basic options, which I guess would be Flamers and Drills, right? I like them a lot. Like, I genuinely like Assault Centurions. I think they work best with like a priest that can res them, I guess, because they're so expensive, like 55 points per model. And they also get quite a lot of value if you have like a Psychic Fortress near them as well. Like, that gives them a lot of value too. I keep forgetting suppressors even exist. Yeah, I mean... Hey John, glad to hear that you've enjoyed the tier list videos. That was a fun series to film, actually. Like, me, Tony, and... yeah, I was going to say, me, Tony, and Mark had a lot of fun filming that tier list series, so... I'm glad to hear that people enjoyed it, you know? That was the kind of the whole point for it, and it was kind of just to help people make better lists, right? Like, list building hasn't been easy for us since Chapter Approved dropped. Like I went on quite a big loss. Well, it wasn't a loss. I think I played 8 games and lost like... Yeah, I think I played 8 games and lost 7 of them right after Chapter Approved dropped. So it took us a little while to just figure out what we needed to change. So yeah, I enjoyed filming the tier lists. And like, if there's anything, I think that came from a suggestion actually. Like, I didn't come up with the idea to do it at all. Someone must have suggested that we do a tier list. And those tier list videos got like a lot of new supporters and subscribers for the channel, so I know that there's some new subscribers recently as well. Like, I see Half Past Matt, I don't think we've ever met, so appreciate that. And Left-Handed Texan, I know that you've been around for a little while, but just became a member recently as well, so thank you. It's very much appreciated. You know, the channel wouldn't be able to do all the things that we do, like the live games and that, etc., without the members, so it's super appreciated, guys. Yeah, I think these guys will be cool. I'm glad to at least put, like, obviously I'm going to be nowhere near, and you guys know that I'm a super slow painter, but like, at least we're going to have, we'll have 3 colors on them tonight. Red, blue, and Celestra Grey is what I use for the wings. That Celestra Grey on the wings definitely needs a second coat though, because the gold is quite vibrant still through it. It's really annoying me that you haven't removed the mold lines on these Inceptors. You know what? Sometimes I remove them, sometimes it must just be the mood I was in. Or it would have been the hurry. Sometimes it can be the hurry. Like if... Oh, Victoria, thank you so much for becoming a member. That's very kind. If you have Discord, you can get access to the members only room over there. And if you don't know how to do that, if you at least join the Discord, there should be a link in the video description, like below. If there's not, let me know and I'll post Discord in the chat. If you don't know how to link up your YouTube account to Discord, I can help you, and then you can access our members only room, which is, I mean, there's nothing special about the members only room, but I guess that's where we've got our most dedicated Blood Angels players in there, and it's kind of nice. Because I play a live game every Monday night, I always share like my army list plus the lists of the people that I'm playing against early on Mondays. And then all the members, especially like Reziel and Highland Phoenix and that, tell me what I should do to win the game, and then I forget to read their posts because because I'm busy at work on Mondays usually, and and then I lose the game. But no, it's a great, the members only room is really great. And like, there was a new member that just joined this week, I think his name was Daniel, and he's got a game against Thousand Suns. I actually don't know, I think it was this Saturday, maybe he's played the game now. So like, he posted his list, you know, and we all try and help and advise on secondaries and stuff like that. So I mean, that happens in all the Discord channels, but maybe more, I'm probably most active in the members only room. Oh, it's very kind of you to say. I'm glad that, you know, that's why we do the channel, to help. Blood Angels are in a tough position right now. We didn't get the strongest codex, and I think we can probably all agree on that. I think other armies would probably agree on that as well. The Blood Angels right now do not have the strongest codex, so the idea behind the channel right now, I guess, is to keep fighting the good fight and help people get wins even when it's difficult. And you know, Death Guard got a very strong codex. Sisters of Battle got a very strong codex, and we beat both of those in the last 2 weeks. And now that I lost against Orcs last week, but it was the first time fighting the new Orc codex. And sometimes when you fight a list or you fight an army you don't know, the first time's always going to be rough. I think next time we beat the Orcs. I think against Orcs I didn't realise how much of a commitment things take to kill because of that snakebite rule where they basically get transhuman, right? Like, things take a lot of a commitment. I think I put like, was it 4 Sanguinary Guard into like a squad of 10 Orc boys, and like we only killed like 6 of them or something. Like, it was pretty rough. And I guess that's not what you normally expect, right? You normally expect like Sanguinary Guard to go in and just wipe the floor with units. But yeah, join up the Discord, and also, hey Zarkon, thank you so much for subscribing. If you join up the Discord, yeah, once you've got your first list ready, make sure you submit it to me, and we'll review it on the channel. And remember, members get priority queue as well, so we'll be able to review your list a bit quicker, because I have quite a long queue of people waiting for list reviews at the moment. We do 4 every week, every Sunday, but yeah, the queue is pretty big. So did any of you guys watch the battle report over on Warhammer TV then? Or sorry, not Warhammer TV, Warhammer Plus. Did anyone watch the battle report on Warhammer Plus? Blood Angels versus Orcs, and what, if anyone did watch it, what did they think of it? Maybe a power fist or 2 in the Sanguinary Guard again? I mean, yeah. Seems weird to have to take a power fist for like 1 army though, right? I suppose it's the same as how like I feel like you have to take some 3 damage weapons for when you run into Death Guard. It's the same nonsense. It's annoying. It's annoying that all these factions have really good ways to counter like our best units and or our chapter tactic, I guess. I am making mistake after mistake here. Jeez, some of these shoulder rims are pretty hard to get to with these wings stuck on here. I mean, they're hard to get to anyway with the jump packs as well. Isn't it a really weird coincidence that you do a battle report against Orcs the same week that there's a Blood Angels v Orcs report on Warhammer Plus? I mean, they forgot our entire chapter tactic of +1 to wound. Did they? Did they? I didn't actually watch anything beyond the army list section yet. I was planning on watching the battle tomorrow, but like I just looked at the army list and I really wasn't that impressed. But mind you, he was playing against snake bites, right? So snake bite orcs you cannot wound on less than 4s unless you're hitting them with toughness 8 weapons, or strength 8 weapons, sorry. Oh, Smeeble watched it as well? Okay. Alright, so maybe they did miss out on that. Wow, if they did miss out on that, that's crazy. That's why I was saying, like, you know in the Warhammer Facebook page, right? They occasionally like ask, you know, like, hey, have you watched this new show on Warhammer Plus and what do you think? What we need to do is we need to get them to invite actual YouTubers that like play the game a lot onto their battle report show and like actually have competitive battles, because I don't know. You know, like, because I said, like, I don't know what... I would assume that most of the people paying for Warhammer Plus are pretty serious about the hobby, right? So, like, if you're super serious about Blood Angels, and, like, let me just throw this out here, right? If you're super serious about getting good at Blood Angels, and, like, I could be shooting myself in the foot here, you're going to want to watch someone that's going to tell you how to get good at Blood Angels, and that's exactly, you know, what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to tell people, like, these are good Blood Angels units. You know, we made the tier list and we went over everything. So, like, I am trying to say, if you want to win games as Blood Angels, these are maybe the units you need to think about using. These are the synergies you need to think about using. If you tune in any Sunday, we'll talk about, you know, we talk about army lists every Sunday, and, like, I try and... You know, if someone sends me a list that has no synergy in it, like, I'll tell them, like, hey, you know, nice try on your list, but have you thought about, like, this, this, and this? Because these will synergize better, and these will give you better chances to win games. Whereas, so, like, if you're a serious enough Warhammer player to subscribe to Warhammer Plus, like, do you really want to just see, like, a Blood Angels army that's, like, vanilla and generic, and, like, has very little and or no synergy? Like, aggressors are not a competitive unit right now. I loved aggressors last edition. I think I fielded them like once in 9th edition. They're kind of terrible at the moment. They're not durable. They're slow. They're not good in close combat. Like, there's just the Flamestorm ones are better than the Bolter ones. Yes, that's fair. So at least they did that. They fielded the Flamestorm ones. But you know, like I feel like I feel like they're missing their mark, right? And in some ways, yeah. I mean, maybe I should just shut up because you guys, a bunch of you guys, subscribe to me, and I'm super lucky that you guys subscribe to me, and I super appreciate it. And you know, like I guess that's my jazz is like trying to make stronger Blood Angels lists and trying to win games and trying to win tournaments, etc., etc., etc. So like, yeah, I mean, maybe I should shut up about it, but I think at the same time, I think that they're just not, like, why are they not thinking about this? Why are they not thinking like, wouldn't, you know, like, if someone's serious enough to subscribe to Warhammer Plus, they want to see just like a generic Blood Angels list that like doesn't look like it would do anything in a competitive setting, because like, who's running that? Like, maybe you're running it for like a little bit of like casual game, but like anyone that's got, I don't know, even when I play casually, I still want to win. You know, like I played a few games against Andrew casually after Indomitus came out, and like I still thought long and hard about the army. Although I used like all the Indomitus units, like I still wanted to bring something that I thought was competitive. I didn't want to just be like, oh well, I'm just gonna bring this because. So I feel, I don't know, I feel like they should just get people that actually really want to be competitive on the battle reports, and maybe they can have some fun ones like they did this week. But like, we need to see competitive armies, right? Would there be a way to combo aggressors with priests and Blade Guard vets as a Death Star up middle? I mean, that's what I was doing before with Centurions, Victoria. So I was running 3 Centurions, which are basically better aggressors, sort of. Aggressors have T5 and 3 wounds, and a 3+ save. Centurions have T5, 4 wounds, and a 2+ save. So Centurions, yes, they are more expensive. Like 10 points more per model, but you get +1 armor save, +1 toughness, +1 wound. The only disadvantage, I guess, is you can't use transhuman on the Centurions, which I guess is the one disadvantage. But the Centurions drills are a flat 3 damage, and they don't take -1 to hit like the aggressor's power fists do. So if the Centurions actually get in combat, they're hitting way, way, way harder than the aggressors. Every hit is going to be 1 more damage, and there's no -1 to hit. So, you know, I think Centurions get 16 attacks on the charge, a squad of 3. So I guess the aggressors probably get the same 16. So you get 16 3 damage hitting on 3s versus 16 2 damage hitting on 4s, right? That's quite a big difference. I just think that's quite a big difference. Especially if you come up against Death Guard, that's actually a huge difference, and I think Centurions are actually pretty great against Death Guard. But yeah, you could combo them up the middle with the priest. The thing is, the list that we saw, it didn't have a priest and it didn't have any Blade Guard either. And I guess they were limited because it was a patrol, because it was just 1,000 points. But like, they literally picked the worst HQ. You know, like a Primaris Lieutenant with Power Sword. Like, I don't think I could find a worst HQ option to pick, honestly. I mean, I just don't think there is a worse HQ option. The HQ choice was horrific. I have about 10 Primaris Lieutenants, and the only one I run is the one with the Storm Shield, and they didn't even pick that one. I don't actually play the game. I like the battle report. It was cool looking units and players having fun. It was short and kind of awkward at times. Yeah, do you know what? I like the fact that they've made them short, right? Because editing battle reports like that takes a lot of time and effort. So that's really cool, right? Like, and I would like them if they maybe felt a little bit less like, you know, when they're like jumping to the player and they're like telling you what they do. I feel like that bit could be better. It could feel more natural, maybe, because like that was like maybe like if I was talking about Blood Angel Army, I think I just think that there's YouTubers that do that better than what they're doing. But yeah, I like how they made it short, because like some people say to me like, hey, can you make your battle report short? And I'm like, I can, but like it's a full-time job. It takes, you know, like a battle takes 5 hours to play. To then edit it takes another 5 or 10 even to make it good and nice and short. So it's great that they're doing short battle reports. That's good. If I could do short ones every week, I would. I literally don't have the hours in the day. But I feel like I would like to just see more competitive lists. Like maybe they could look around and take, like, sure, do some narrative ones, but do some competitive ones as well, is what I'm thinking. Didn't even use a Blood Angel specific lieutenant, they used the standard one. Do you know what, that's funny actually, now you mention it. Yeah, we have a special Blood Angels lieutenant with a power sword and they didn't even use him, did they? So it's just one battle report a week and it won't even be 40k every week. Yeah, that's a bit short. Do you know what, that was the thing that what's the best chicken wing flavor and why is it buffalo? Oh geez, we're starting on the food talk again tonight at was it you that had the food chat last week at Tring? Last week we went into a 20-minute debate about pizza. Are we going into a 20-minute debate about chicken wings tonight? Excuse me. I definitely overworked myself today. Alright, I'm going to put some white on these wings, I think. The first coat of many, because white needs a notorious number of coats, doesn't it? I stand by my pineapple topping argument. I think we actually beat you last week by talking about baked beans on pizza. I think that really confused people. And also beans on toast. That definitely confused people as well. Maybe chicken just isn't the same, just doesn't provoke the same level of debate that pineapple on pizza provokes. I feel like I made this white too thin, but you know what, it's fine, because like I said, white always takes a million coats anyway, so this first coat will just be very, very, very thin. Can confirm having a bean pizza when I was younger, yeah. Chicken wings for Sanguinius. Pineapple, pepper, sweet corn, red onion, and extra cheese. You know, it's a long time since I've actually had pineapple on a pizza. See, I'd put anything on pizza, you know, like, I'm one of these people that, like, I don't typically care about mixing flavors or anything like that. I'll just eat whatever. I'm very easygoing. I think these guys, you know, I'm not actually sure when I'm going to run Plasma Inceptors again, but when I finally do, I think it'll be glorious when these guys come down and have their giant gold Gravis armor and their cool looking wings. I think it'll be glorious. In terms of surviving on the board right now, though, I don't actually find Gravis units really survive all that much better than Marines, to be honest. Maybe it's just the current meta, but like, you know, or maybe it's just the folk I play against, but yeah. Gravis Marines, it's probably just offset by the fact that you get less of them. You know, so like they just feel the same survivability as a regular Marine squad, because regular Marine squad has 5 guys, so they have like 10 wounds, whereas like 3-man Gravis squad just has 9 wounds, so the +1 toughness actually doesn't feel like you get all that much value from it because the squad's that bit smaller, you know? But yeah, I think I'm playing Andrew on Monday night, so Andrew will be bringing his Sisters of Battle, and we'll both be bringing our tournament list. Our tournament lists are locked, as in they cannot be changed. The tournament begins next Saturday, and it's Clan Wars, which means me, Andrew and Colin are together in a team, and our tournament performance will be based on how well the 3 of us do, I guess, together as a team. I'll eat almost anything, drink anything alcoholic, so long as it's made for human consumption. I skipped one of your streams and now you're talking about baked beans on pizza. That sounds disgusting. Yeah, I was I was saying when I was a kid, they always used to put baked beans on pizza, but they used to put it underneath the cheese and tomato. So like it was like the pizza base, then baked beans, and then cheese and tomato on top. What it always meant was that the baked beans were like super hot, and like always burnt your mouth. And we were just randomly Atrakin last week. I hope I'm saying that right, Atrakin. If you want to tell me how to pronounce your name so I know in the future, I'd appreciate it. He came in here and asked about pizza flavors, and then we got talking about baked beans and everything. One thing I love about moving to Scotland is the brilliant pizza topping combos. So if you've moved to, have you ever had doner kebab on pizza? Because that's definitely a pizza flavour they do in Scotland. I'm not sure where else they do that, but they definitely put doner kebab, which is basically like strips of lamb meat, L-A-M-B meat on pizza. I'm not sure where all in the world you can get doner kebab pizzas, but Scotland is definitely one of those places. I would pass on baked bean pizzas unless I was hungover. Yeah, I mean, I guess when you're hungover, any food could be a godsend, right? Tuna on pizza. I don't know if I've ever had tuna on pizza. That does sound like heresy. Maybe we finally found something that everybody will agree will be heresy on pizza. Mind you, I've had anchovies on pizza, right? And that's not a million miles. Kebab pizza is really popular in Sweden. Okay, so it's not just Scotland. We also deep fry kebab pizza. I've seen them where they deep fry the whole pizza. I believe there's a guy either on YouTube or Facebook. He's a Scottish person, and his channel is something like I like spell A-Y-E, like I is I think you say in Scotland, it means yes. So when someone says like, are you fine, or we going to the cinema, or are you playing tonight, you would just say I. A-Y-E just means yeah, you cool, you know, etc. So I've definitely seen a channel, I think it might be Facebook, and his channel is called like I Does It Fry, and basically like he just basically buys takeaway food from like KFC or McDonald's or whatnot, and he chucks it all in deep fat fryer and then reviews like if it's any good after he fries it. Those are the sort of like strange YouTube videos where you don't want to watch them, but they're kind of compelling to watch. Yeah, these guys will be cool as these guys will be cool as hell once I put on a few coats of white on these and get the wings all done up nicely. I Cannot Fry, brilliant YouTube videos. There's a place near me that does deep fried pizza. I picked up a box of, let's get back on some Blood Angels topics. I picked up a box of Blood Angels Terminators, Thunderhammers or Lightning Claws, etc, etc. Do you know what, Jeff? I have been thinking about this for a while because I always find in my list, right, my Vanguard veterans always die, and they usually die pretty easily. And I was wondering if changing them out for a squad of Terminators, because I have 5 Vanguard vets, so that's basically 12 wounds, right? 2 plus 4 plus save. And I was wondering if I swapped them out for like some Terminators, how we would get on. So 5 Assault Terminators with Thunderhammers is 215 points. Yeah, 215. But every Thunderhammer you drop for Lightning Claws takes off 10 points, right? Because Lightning Claws are just 33 points per model, Thunderhammer and Storm Shields are 43. So if you took 5 Blood Angels Terminators and gave them 3 Thunderhammers and 2 with Lightning Claws, you'd be 195 points, I believe. So only, actually, how many points is my current? Actually, I need to think about this now. Vanguard vets with Lightning Claws are 30 points per model, so 5 of them is 150, and then 9 more. Yeah, so 189 points. I was right, 189 points for 5 Vanguard veterans with Lightning Claws, and 1 with a Thunderhammer, like the Sergeant was the Thunderhammer. So that gives you 12 wounds. So for 6 more points, you'd be able to get 5 Terminators, 3 with Thunderhammer, 2 with Lightning Claw. Now, what difference would that make? Well, for a start, you're going to get 3 more wounds, right? You're going to lose some mobility, because obviously Terminators are nowhere near as mobile as Vanguard vets, but if you consider deep striking them into turn 2, then Terminators can just deep strike in with teleport strikes, so you don't lose anything from there. When you're actually teleport in then, so you've got those extra wounds, but against small arms fire, like -1 AP, -2 AP, you can take it on the Terminators with the Storm Shields, because they have a 1-up save, right? So you basically get to ignore -1 AP, or you get to ignore 1 AP on those guys. So -1 AP means save on a 2, -2 AP means save on a 3. I guess if you think about, a lot of people run Selfless Healer. So if you run like some sort of priest with res, then you get more value out of the Terminators, right? Because every single model that you bring back is more valuable than a single Vanguard veteran that you could bring back. So 6 Vanguard veterans versus 5 Terminators. Terminators are more survivable. Quite a bit more survivable against AP -1 and 2. Terminators have that cool stratagem. I believe it's called Fury of the First. And one of the biggest weaknesses, I think, of the Vanguard veterans is their... Hey RH, thank you so much for becoming a member tonight. Yeah, a new member. I appreciate it, dude. I'm not even sure we've spoken before, so I very much appreciate the membership, and please, please, if you ever want to speak to me, join on Discord. You can get access to the members only room. I think I mentioned it earlier in the stream as well. Members can hit me up in there and, you know, make video requests or anything. So, or just chat, just hang out and chat, ask any questions you want. But I appreciate it. Yeah, so like I think 5 Terminators, they're going to be more survivable. They're going to have better protection against random AP weapons. They're also going to be really effective against 2 damage weapons, right? Where like a 2 damage weapon kills a Vanguard veteran, a 2 damage weapon essentially leaves a Terminator with 1 wound. So against 2 damage weapons, I mean, how many 2 damage hits are you going to need to kill the Terminators? You're going to need 10 2 damage fails to kill the Terminators, whereas the Vanguards, you're just going to need 6 2 damage fails. How are we going to do on attacks, though, I guess, right? Like a Terminator gets 2 attacks, so the ones with lightning claws, base, you're going to get 8 lightning claws attacks. The Vanguard veterans base, we're going to get, we think it was going to be 4 per model, and you had 5 of them, 20. So you're gonna lose 12 lightning claw attacks, but you're gonna gain. You only get, would it be 3 Thunderhammer attacks base? Oh no, sorry. Base, you're gonna get 15 lightning claws against 8. So you're gonna have about half the number of lightning claw hits. I'm not including bonuses from like Savage Echoes and Shock Assault and all that nonsense. You can add them later yourself if you want to. And then Thunderhammers, you're gonna get 3, and now you're gonna have 7. So you give up half your lightning claw attacks, but you double your Thunderhammer attacks, and then you have that cool stratagem where you can basically. Someone remind me, Fury of the First, what does it actually do? Excuse me. Excuse me. I am not well today. I definitely overstretched myself today. 14,000 steps was the wrong choice. But I do hate just sitting around when I'm ill. Until the end of the phase, each time a Terminator model in the unit makes an attack, add 1 to the hit roll. Angel's Ascendant. Thank you. So for 1 CP, you can add 1 to your attack roll, which is going to be a big deal when you talk about Thunderhammers, right? Because Thunderhammers, the biggest problem I have with my Vanguard veterans is that the Thunderhammers are so unreliable. So being able to put those Thunderhammers back on a 3 to hit, so you get double the Thunderhammers, you can still hit on 3s. I suppose if you're close to a captain, you can reroll 1s, so you go from hitting on 4s rerolling 1s to hitting on 3s rerolling 1s. I like that. And like, obviously neither of those units can use transhuman or anything like that, right? Because neither of them are Primaris. So if I had 5 Terminators painted right now, like 3 with Thunderhammers and 3 with Lightning Claw, 2 with Lightning Claws, I would be 100% trying to find a way to tweak my list to find those 6 points to get me to drop the Vanguard veterans and bring in a squad of Terminators. Just because I think, you know, we often talk about 9th edition being an edition where you get points for holding objectives, you get points for performing actions, you get points for doing secondaries. If your unit's dead, you don't get any points, right? So like, if I were you, and you know, feel free to ignore any of my advice, it's just my opinion, I would go 3 Thunderhammer and 2 Lightning Claw, but you could also go 2 and 3 the other way around. I think that's good as well if you need them to be slightly cheaper. But yeah, I think a mixed squad is how I would like to, like if I was doing it myself, that's how I would do. I also, the reason I sometimes say to focus on mixed squads in general though is like, you never often have that perfect opportunity in the battlefield. You know, like you could, let's say you do all Thunderhammers, then you end up against a matchup where like your opponent's like lots of crappy chaff units. Then you're wasting a ton of Thunderhammers. So I like having my units well versed to fight against different types of armies, you know? Like, I guess that's how I build all my lists. Like, I never tailor to a specific army. I'm always trying to think like, what's going to be good or what's going to be the best for all situations. That can be difficult to do, but I mean, that's what I try and advocate here on the channel, I guess. And Big Chief, Big Chief says, does life ever beat you down so hard you wish you were in 40k? I am sorry to hear you're having a tough time, Big Chief. Life can beat you down. Life can be cruel, man. You know, so you know, try and stay positive, man. You know, if you ever want to, I was gonna say, if you ever just need to vent or something, you know, like I am on Discord pretty much every day. You can shoot me a message anytime, man. I know you've been a member for the channel for like a long time as well, so I super appreciate it. We're in a tough time as human beings, you know, like the world's on fire, COVID's rampant, lockdown has been hard on everyone, so yeah, I totally... It's not always happiness in it, is it? So try and stay positive. That's, you know, I guess that's my whole demeanor in life. I always try and stay positive. My wife's actually told me before, she's like, I hate how positive you are. And I was like, well, it's just, you know, it's just how I was brought up, I guess. Like, dwelling on negative things, yeah, things can be tough, but like, you gotta try and find the good in every situation. And if you're not sure what to do, put some wings on your Inceptors and watch your enemy cry next time you bring them into battle. There you go. Focus yourself into something random. These guys are going to look cool, man. Lots to do, but they are going to be cool. Does she positively hate it? I don't actually know. She was definitely not brought up as positive as I was. Is it +1 to hit in shooting or melee? I believe so, Benno. So yeah, you can use it to get +1 to hit in shooting or melee. Like it's both that would that. Sorry, it's either from the stratagem. And Smeebo, I believe Fury of the First is a Space Marine stratagem. I don't believe it's Blood Angels. No, I'm sure it's a generic Space Marine one. Like 90% sure, I'd say. Good evening, Reziel. How you doing? If you take a guard and a Blood Angel detachment, do you lose the respective traits like Savage, Echoes, and Shock Assault? You lose the Super Doctrine, I believe, if you take them, Corbin. So what it means by Super Doctrine is you would lose the Red Thirst. I believe you keep the Combat Doctrines, so you would still get your +1 attacks from Savage, Echoes, and Shock Assault. But I think you would lose your +1 to Advance and Charge and your +1 to Wound, which is arguably the bigger of the two things. Just assembled a 3-man squad of Assault Bolt Interceptors, best use for objective grabbing. I use mine to grab objectives and also to do secondaries like retrieve Octarius data, John. What you can do, which is pretty nice, is you can... There's a 2 CP strat, I forget what it's called now. I only forget because I've got this stupid cold. I use it quite often on my... I believe I used it this week or last week on my live game. And what it does is it lets you still perform, so you can arrive from Deep Strike, you can perform an action, and you can still shoot. I think it's called Uncompromising Fire, to be honest. I feel like that's ringing the bell right now, so use your Inceptors, bring them down. You love the Inceptors with wings. Thanks, David. Whose lists are on for tomorrow, John? Lists for tomorrow are going to be Carey Scott, James Gibb, Bigu, B-I-G-U, and Herpderp. And then next week it's you, Reziel, you and Steel Rain in the same week, Not So Average Joe, and Sam Milber. Oh, you're welcome, Big Chief. Don't even worry about it, man. I think that's one thing that COVID has shown us. Like, capitalism is so bad at the moment. Like, far too many people just think about themselves. So yeah, I can understand that, and like, I hope you manage to sort out whatever's going on. John, will you ever make true scale Sanctuary Guard? I mean, true scale Sanctuary Guard at the moment are firstborn Sanctuary Guard, right? I would imagine that it's probably going to be a wasted effort, because like if Games Workshop don't have Primaris Sanctuary Guard on a plan or a release plan or a future plan somewhere, like, I think they're mad, honestly. Like, Blood Angels are taking a battering at tournaments. I really think Sanctuary Guard probably need an extra wound and a bit of a rules rejig, maybe? At 32 points per model, I think they're overcosted personally, but I guess we'll see. I'd be very surprised if at some point, and it might not be soon, but at some point, if we don't see like a Dante box with a new Dante and a new Primaris Sanctuary Guard. I mean, Marnius Calgar got that last edition. I was convinced when he got it that like the Dante box wasn't going to be far behind. Apparently I know nothing, but I still think that like that's got to be on their plan, like their release schedule somewhere, I feel like. I'm going to tell the work I'll be arriving late next week. Alright, we could do your list first, Reziel, if that helps you. Good evening, Steel Rain. I'm not sure I noticed you in here. How you doing, brother? For the most part, I'm doing good. Hopefully by tomorrow's show, I'll be feeling 100%. I'm feeling a little bit under weather today, but it's fine. Happens. But yeah, I'll be a Battle of the Titans then next week. Reziel versus Steel Rain on the Armulus show. Shit, do you know what? I'm not going to be here next week. So we'll need to do it. Yeah, you better not tell. I'm glad you said that. I've got that tournament next week, Clan Wars. So I will be driving back. I actually have no idea how far away that tournament is. Let me Google it real quick. Because I imagine there'll be 2 games on the Sunday, so the second game will probably finish about 4 o'clock. Stirling to Elgin. It's a 3-hour, 8-minute drive, actually, yes, yeah, so I won't be home before... Like, I probably won't be home till 8 o'clock at night. Because I imagine, like, I'll stop somewhere, because it's... If we're leaving at 4, I'll probably want to stop somewhere for, like, something to eat and... bathroom break or something, so I guess the Armulus show will go out much later in the day. Like we did one, yeah, I'll probably do it when, do you know what, I'll probably do it around the time that I did tonight, like from 10 till midnight or something, just so that we're not like missing a week and like pushing everyone's lists back. But yeah, it'll be much later on in the day. Sorry about that. I mean, if you want me to skip your list back a week so that you can be here for it, we could do that as well. I could bump somebody else forward a week. I completely forgot. Stormcast Eternal. Do you know what? I have a ton of Stormcast Eternal. I probably have 100 Stormcast. And I got them before I made the commitment to basically doing this Blood Angels channel. So like, I don't know, I was out of control, I guess. I had way too many models. I actually know that I have, what's that new race as well? Iokin Deep? Iodeath Deepkin or something? Like, I have like 1,000 points of Iodin Deepkin as well, all still in their boxes as well, because I like the look of those things. So I don't know what I'm doing with those either. But yeah, I have a lot of Stormcast. Like, so we could. Do you know what? If we wait like 2 more years, and they still haven't done Primaris Sanguigard, then I'll think about true size conversions. But like, surely to goodness, we can't have to wait. Like, if they do not come out in 9th edition, like a new Dante and Primaris Sanguigard, I'll be really surprised, because like all these other chapters are getting new stuff, and the Primaris Death Company are a joke, right? Like, Death Company without jump packs, they're not for me. What time is it here? It is 12:45 here. So the show where we go over lists is 15 minutes and 16 hours from now. Yeah, that's right. So 15 minutes, 16 hours from now, and then it lasts for about 2 hours. Yeah, I'd like to, Corbin. I'm probably gonna try harder with my son than my daughter, but if my daughter's into it, then, you know, I'll go for it. I mean, it's like the 21st century now. Anyone can do anything they want, right? There's no... Hopefully, you know, hopefully our kids are growing up in a world now where, like, there's no prejudice on race and colour and all this sort of stuff. So if my daughter already comes into this room, right, and like... You know the chapter approved book? It sits right behind me here, right? This chapter approved book, the one that's just got the points cost in it, no rules or nothing. It's just got the points cost, right? She comes into the room, she's only 2 years old, and she picks up that book and she's like, "Daddy's book?" And I was like, "Annabella, that is literally the most boring book you could pick up in this entire room, right? Like, it's got nothing in it but points cost." And she's like running around the room going like, "Daddy's book, Daddy's book." And I was like, all right, you know, like, so we'll see. Who knows if it's something that she wants to check out. And I do have to say to her, like, don't touch because I leave painting models on a small table behind me as well. And she is good, like, I tell her, like, don't touch the models. She does occasionally, like, pick up a paintbrush, but no, she hasn't broke or picked up any model yet, so for the most part, she's pretty good. What do you want more, Primaris jump packs or Primaris Sanguigard? Primaris Sanguigard, 100%. I think that's what... And do you know what, I have so many Sanguigard models, so like that'll just make it that I have to like buy tons more if they're the same sort of stats and they're better. But I think Primaris Sanguigard is what we need, and maybe that'll, like, if we got that, maybe that kickstarts all the other good, because I imagine Primaris Sanguigard would come with some options, right? And that's the thing that Primaris always seem to miss, is like good options. So if Primaris Sanguigard came with the same options that like regular Sanguigard did, like, you know, a sword, an axe, or a power fist. Hell, maybe even Sanguigard Primaris could have the option of a Thunderhammer as well. Now you're talking, you know, like, that would be very, very cool. And I mean, I almost see no reason why they couldn't have a Thunderhammer, right? Like, if they're going to give Thunderhammer to Death Company troops that are just running into battle to die, then like, why wouldn't they give it to like the Sanguigard? I don't suppose anyone knows, is there a lower reason that Sanguigard don't get the Thunderhammer option? Because I feel like they should get it, right? Like as far as I'm aware, there's no big lower reason that they couldn't have a Thunderhammer, right? My 10-year-old daughter helps me paint the orcs. A sister of battle in the making, maybe. My father and I started playing back at the end of 8th, and it's a good bonding experience, so that's why I asked. Alright, cool. Yeah, no, I would like it. I would definitely like it if they're interested. I mean, it's... You know, I guess Warhammer is a big part of my life, so... But at the same time, like, I don't know. I don't want to push too hard on anything, you know, and try and let them make their own decisions, but we'll see. I mean, I'm really into like soccer as well. I think last week people were actually surprised they saw me wearing like a soccer top for the first time ever. I actually got a new Scotland soccer top today. Fortunately, Scotland were crap tonight. We just beat Moldova 1-0, but 3 points is 3 points, I guess. So people were surprised to see me wearing a football top. So I kind of hope that my kids like football as well. But I mean, the same thing goes, right? If they're not super interested, they want to do other things, I'll try and let them do that, I think. It's hard to say, I guess. Excuse me. They'll give us if they give us Primaris Sanguinary Guard without jump packs, Brent, I will buy a box of them and I will break out. I have one of those little chimeras, which is like a little chimney outside where you throw logs in, and like if you were gonna have like people over in the summer and it's too cold really to sit outside, you can set this chimera thing up and like basically what am I trying to say, like have like a fire outside. I will set my chimera up and I will sacrimoniously burn a squad of them on the fire and make a video about it that I'm mad because it makes literally no sense. I don't think they would do that. I don't think they would give us Sanguinary Guard without jump packs. That would be taking the piss. Alright, I'm gonna call it in 10 minutes, guys. I'm really I'm struggling a bit tonight, so I'm gonna take off for bed in like 10 minutes. But I will be back tomorrow and hopefully feeling a lot better. I'm not aware of any specific lore reason that except they have jump packs and bolters, and it's not as easy to use a hammer. True, it's not as easy to use a hammer, but their bolters are attached to their arms, right? It's not like they have to carry the bolters like the other guys do, you know? They're just attached to their arms, so based on that, like, maybe they could be allowed to have thunder hammers. That would be so cool. People would be very scared if Primaris Sanguinary Guard could have hammers. That would also sell a lot of Sanguinary Guard, I guess. Or Primaris Sanguinary Guard, I guess. They did it to the Death Company. Yeah, but I mean, Death Company could always go without jump packs, right? So, I mean, I don't know if they did it as much as they just didn't give them the option, I guess. So, yeah, but I think it was a huge oversight. Like, you know, like, so I'm a member of a bunch of 40k groups on Facebook, or Blood Angels 40k groups on Facebook, and like, people were buying Death Company. You remember that at Christmas time they released like the box, Death Company Intercessors. People were buying that box and then instantly being disappointed because they were like, oh, this box is kind of shitty. You know, like, we don't get jump packs, we don't get close combat weapons in this box, and the one sprue of Blood Angel specific stuff it's got is just like, doesn't have any Death Company specific stuff. It's just got like one generic Blood Angels upgrades kit or sprue or whatever it's called. So like, surely they take note on their Facebook page. There's like, wow, people just thought that was crap, because it was. I mean, I could make a video saying it's crap, and you guys could share it everywhere, but like, I don't know if I'm a big enough YouTuber for them to take any notice yet. I believe Games Workshop doesn't care about YouTube channels till they get to 10,000 subscribers, and even then, I mean, I'm sure they don't listen to all of them, or, you know, they'll just be like, oh, that's that Blood Angels guy moaning about Blood Angels. They'll kind of be tone deaf to it a little bit, I guess. The question is, would you want to pay the points for Sanguinary Guard with a Thunder Hammer? If they had 3 wounds and they were more survivable, because I don't think the -1 to combat really makes, like, I would much prefer, I think, an invulnerable save over the -1 to hit them in combat, right? Like, I think an invulnerable save provides a lot more value than -1 to hit them in combat, and if they did that, I would be interested in giving them a Thunderhammer. I bought the Blood Angels Death Company box just because it's the easiest way to get transfers. That's fair enough, yeah. I mean, transfers are kind of expensive on eBay, and there's not always that many ways you can get a hold of those transfers, is there? A 5 double plus would be so helpful for Vanguard. Yeah, I mean, it would be huge, right? Like, if they had 3 wounds and a 5 double plus and we lost the -1 to hit them in melee, that I think they'd be so much better, Bergensor. Someone got copyright claimed for reviewing the Warhammer Plus show. I saw that. It was Midwinter Minis, right? Steel Rain. And like, I guess he has so many subscribers. His view count to mine will be insane, right? Like, I bet you, well, I mean, like, my videos reviewing it has a couple of thousand views. I'm imagining his one has, we could probably just check. It's Midwinter Minis. Midwinter Minis. He has, how many views on that one? 72,000 views, yeah, so he made 72 times the ad revenue that I made, so, well, he didn't, because I guess they copyright claimed it, but, yeah, I mean, so I guess they might, I believe that you're allowed to, like, that's why I didn't put any video in from the show, like, and I just put stills, because I believe, like, people do reviews of, like, the new Mandalorian episodes and new Star Wars episodes, and, like, that's typically how they do it. Like, they don't put any of the show in, they just put, like, still images, because you need to be able to review stuff, right? Like, that's fair, that's what they call fair use in copyright law, right? Like, I'm not trying to play it off as my own work, I'm reviewing it, and as such, by reviewing it, it's fair use. But who knows, maybe I'll get a strike and it'll be taken down. Oh, Spiderwing's saying it's already been resolved over there, so maybe it's a non-issue. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I did think after it, because I used one of their still images as the thumbnail for my video, and I wasn't sure if I could use the thumbnail. So I guess if someone copyright claims against the video, or Games Workshop copyright claim against the video, all I can do is try and work with them to figure out the issue. But no, I do want to continue doing the overview of the Blood Angels series, because, like I said in my last video, YouTube system doesn't really care about fair use. Yeah, probably. But like I said in my last video, I want Warhammer Plus to succeed. I want to get more high quality animations. You know, like, I'll give you an example is, right, like, when they first started doing these Marvel movies, I didn't care at all, right? Like, I literally didn't care at all. I didn't read any of the comics when I was growing up, right? When I was growing up, I played StarCraft, I played Command & Conquer, and I played Warhammer. I didn't read any Marvel comics. I didn't read comics in general. I generally, like, my wife is always really surprised. She said, like, oh, did you watch this TV show? I was like, no, I didn't watch TV. I just played video games. So, like, she's always talking about, like, TV shows. Oh, Netflix is bringing this TV show back. I'm like, no, I never watched it. She's like, how can you not have watched this? I was like, I just didn't watch TV. Like, I just played video games, or I played Warhammer. We actually played a lot of Necromunda. You know, Necromunda in the yellow... yeah, look, right behind me, I was at... Because I've been emptying my house, I've got some classic boxes that came up from my cellar. Like, look at this one. Did you guys have this? The Space Marine Predator. And I have, like, Assault on Blackreach. I have the thing that started it all for me, 2nd edition Warhammer 40,000. But yeah, so like I don't watch TV and stuff. So like, yeah. All right, I'm gonna finish up this tiny little brown paint and call it a night, because hopefully I'll be feeling better tomorrow. But yeah, we had like 2 new members tonight, so thank you guys. Was it 2 or was it 3? 2 or 3 new members tonight. It's super appreciated. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you find value in my channel. But yeah, I guess what I was trying to say was, I didn't care at all about those Marvel movies, but like now, when they say like, oh, there's a new Marvel series coming out on Disney Plus or something, I'm like, I'm actually interested, because I was like, they're like killing it. I'm actually kind of sad that Star Wars isn't the same, because like I did care about Star Wars when I was a kid, but like those I really hate those new Star Wars movies. I know some people don't hate them, so we won't get into that, but like I didn't like them at all. So the thing that I didn't care about at all, Marvel, they're actually doing really, really well with, so I'm hoping that the same thing would happen with Warhammer Plus, right? Like, people slowly start to pick it up and they think it's great, and like, we actually get, like, imagine if we got like a series that was like about the life of Sanguinius and all this sort of stuff, like stuff we've never seen before, you know? The Great Crusade, you know, all these sort of things. So hopefully, as much as people aren't happy about Warhammer Plus right now, maybe it can become something good in the future, I guess. That's my hope for it, and I guess that is why I'll support it for now. The new Marvel shows are crap too. Oh, I don't know. I enjoyed. Well, yeah, I suppose I enjoyed Loki. So maybe I didn't enjoy all of them, but I enjoyed some of them. I appreciate that, Marcus. So yeah, thanks to new members. Thanks for hanging out tonight, guys. I hope you got some hobbying done. I hope you enjoyed seeing some random winged Inceptors. They were a fun little thing that we were working on. We'll work on them again. I'm sure I'll catch some of you guys tomorrow, and if not, Monday night is live game. Sisters of Battle. It'll be my tournament list, and we'll see how we get on, I guess, against Andrew. It'll be Andrew's tournament list as well. He's changed his list a lot, so feel free to tune in on Monday night, and thank you very much for the well wishes. I'm sure I will feel better. I will see you guys tomorrow afternoon by the Blood Army Maid. Have a great Saturday night. Peace. Apparently my logo isn't working. Try again.